Everyone is capable of helping others, but not everyone has the passion and the willingness to do so. Despite limited resources, there are individuals who choose to devote their time and talents to serve their fellow men. This week, we listen to stories of people who have made it their life mission to volunteer and help the Filipino nation. I'm Claire Saldran, and this is our story.
Ang pinakapangarap ni iVolunteer is to have a better Philippines. Naniniwala kami na hindi kaya to ng isang tao lamang, kaya kailangan lahat tayo magtulong-tulong. So yung 100 million na Filipinos, yun yung gusto namin hikayatin na kahit maliit na bagay lang, maging mabuti ka lang tao sa pamilya mo, will make a big difference.
We look at volunteerism as a vehicle to make him more engaged as a citizen of this country.
With a desire to share their passion for volunteerism, JB Tan and Bel Padlan founded iVolunteer, an organization committed to nation building, built by volunteers to help fellow volunteers.
I'm JB Tan. I'm one of the co-founders of iVolunteer.
I'm Bel Padlan, co-founder, and I am also the partnership director. So I look after our NGO partnerships.
iVolunteer started back in 2009 during the time of Ondoy. We saw the overwhelming passion of Filipinos to help, but what they see on TV are just relief centers from our media partners. These media partners are saying that their centers are already overwhelmed with volunteers. There are smaller operations that people didn't know where to find them. That's when we thought of why not help the volunteers find the right opportunities where they can help.
Bale, IT yung background namin, and we have other friends who are also working in IT. Sabi namin, let's put up a website. And from there, we realized it's more than just a website. Kailangan mong i-promote yung lifestyle, kailangan mong isipin ano yung kailangan ng volunteer. And beyond also the disaster response, naisip na namin na bakit sa disaster lang tayo nag-volunteer. So gusto din namin maisip ng mga Pilipino, araw-araw, every weekend, kaya nilang gawin or kaya nilang tumulong at may nangangailangan ng tulong nila.
Yung subject should be what the cause is about. Sa volunteer side, what we do is really more on awareness, education for people to take action. So one is we talk about volunteerism online so they can follow us on social media to understand what's happening in our society. Second, we have this forum called Start Your Adventure. So it's basically if you want to start volunteering, ang kadalasan na tanong sa amin, paano ba ako magsisimula dyan? So that's how we guide the volunteers towards starting their journey. We also have something called Community Meetup, where we bring volunteers together because we realize marami sang nagvo-volunteer mag-isa, ayaw silang suportahan ng mga barkada nila o ng pamilya nila. So they are going through this journey alone. So pinagsasama-sama namin sila para may support system sila. And the third part is really for them to take action. People can go to our site, look for volunteer opportunities. Week on week, merong mga tutorial, feeding programs, tree planting. But we also have big projects and big partnerships. So in the past, we had, for example, partnership with PPCRV. We helped them through the parallel counting that they did for the 2016 election. So our volunteers were doing the encoding of the election returns.
On the partners side naman, so yung mga NGOs and communities, we're offering training. So we're starting with volunteer management training or volunteer engagement because they need to know anong gagawin ko with these volunteers. Where can they look for help in terms of funding?
Bringing Philippines into a better place. We realize that there's distrust in the system, no? So in our society, if you talk to the NGOs, they would say, how can I ensure na yung mga volunteers na pupunta sa akin, one, will really help the community. Second, will also not take advantage of the community, right? If you talk naman to the volunteers, they will say, paano yung pupuntahan ko, how can I be assured that they're really doing something for the community? Kasi baka minsan yung nakikita nila sa TV, di ba, ang daming mga problems, daming mga hindi legit na institution. So how can I ensure na pagpunta ko doon, hindi rin ako maloloko? So that's where we started seeing na parang we need to play the middle part to build the trust back. So we're actually very protective of our integrity because if both sides will trust us, eventually the trust will be back in the system.
I volunteer as a bridge. Wala masyadong gumagawa ng middleman or bridge. I believe having us in the middle is a good place for us to help both the communities and the NGOs understand each other.
Today, iVolunteer is run by 100% volunteers. So everybody has their day jobs. So it shows na pag pinagsama-sama mo yung mga effort ng mga volunteers, may nagagawang maganda. Volunteering has two folds in terms of benefit. One is the immediate output of the volunteer, yung punong natanim nila or yung batang naturuan nila. Yun yung kadalasan nakikita ng mga tao. But ang hindi nakikita is yung transformation that happens inside a volunteer. And we need these people to go through this transformation such that we have leaders in the future who have that perspective and mindset that is centered into development into the community.
Lalo na ngayon yung mga millennials, mahilig lang mag-share, mag-like, comment. We want to make it actionable. So kung talagang naniniwala ka dyan, like, share ka, but also go there and help and see what you can do.
JB Tan and Bel Padlan recall how fellow volunteers continue to inspire them. A few years back, they met fellow Stanyas, an educator who decided to share her knowledge to street children.
Si Teacher Fe, she's a public school teacher, and then inadopt niya lang yung community na malapit sa school nila. Pumunta lang siya doon, tapos nakita niya yung mga bata, walang ginagawa. And then since she's in education, she set up a small education program. So meron siyang curriculum, hindi mo akalain na siya lang mag-isa. Meron siyang plano for the entire calendar year kung ano ituturo niya.
Ako nga po pala muli si Teacher Fe. Si Teacher Fe ay meron pong personal na advocacy. Ang tawag ko po dito ay Teacher Fe, A Journey of Hope. So, ang una ko pong pinupuntahan talaga sa advocacy ko ay yung mga kabataan na nasa ilalim ng tulay. Noong 2010 kasi, January, isa ako sa mga guro na nagturo ng alternative learning system. At isa ito sa mga naging proyekto namin na bigyan ng pagpapahalaga yung mga out-of-school youth namin na nakatira sa community namin. Sabi ko nga sa sarili ko, ang mga kabataan na ito, pag hindi ko binigyan ng pagkakataon na mapangalagaan sila sa kanilang murang gulang, ano na ang mangyayari sa kanila sa darating na panahon. Gusto ko isa ako sa mga tao na tumutulong upang masolusyonan yung maliliit nating problema na maaaring magkaroon ito ng magandang hangarin.
Ganun lang siya, informal, and then eventually, she started inviting volunteers and also through us. Ngayon, nakakasiguro 10 or 15 volunteers siya at a time na tumutulong sa kanya. Ngayon, hindi lang yung under the bridge yung pinopost niya sa website namin, even yung other volunteering programs niya with the other communities that she supports, she's also getting through iVolunteer. Sobrang supporter namin si Ma'am Fe, and we're also trying to support her as much as we can.
Since then, iVolunteer took part in countless activities that transformed the lives of the communities they serve.
Pumunta kami ng Ormoc Leyte after Yolanda. This is in partnership with Gawad Kalinga. So every summer they have a program called Bayani Challenge. It's either rebuilding or building new houses. So depende kung may disaster, the focus is rebuilding. So we came into in the community with the mindset na we want to help rebuild their lives. But we were so surprised na pagdating namin sa Ormoc, yung mga tao doon sobrang positive. Parang isipin mo, wala na silang bahay pero ang positive pa rin nila. Parang paano nagagawa ng mga taong ganito na pagpatuloy pa rin nila yung buhay nila, nakikita pa rin nila how they will move forward kahit wala yung basic necessities nila. So ganun yung natutulong sa amin ng volunteerism. It helps us keep grounded, na it helps us remember what is the most important, which is really the people behind.
Maganda din yung story na yun kasi minsan, yung volunteers pumupunta with the mindset na andito kami tutulong. Pagkatapos, ang daming nakaka-realize
Sabi nila na kami pala yung natulungan, hindi kami yung tumulong. Mas marami kaming nakuha than binigay sa mga communities. The vision is eventually people can volunteer. So people can volunteer their time, treasure, or talent, diba? So now we're heavily focused on time and talent. But maybe in the future, we'll also look into how can we bridge and facilitate treasure.
This is also one of the things that we try to change. Sometimes the volunteers are only looked as free manpower or free skills. We try to educate the public that every volunteer that you engage the community is a transformed person. We came from the same experience na wala naman kaming pakialam before. We've heard the same stories from NGO founders, yung mga NGO leaders and community leaders, na ganun din sila before. And then it took them just one experience to see the reality on the ground. Yung nagugustuhan ko sa ginagawa ko is naririnig ko yung mga stories ng mga founders. Akalain mo parang, uy, gumawa sila ng NGOs o gumawa sila ng group, parang ang taas-taas na. But if you listen to their stories, ordinaryong tao lang din sila.
So there are two things now that, one, personally it motivates me to see people develop. I think it's the transformation that I went through that I want to share to people as well. Second, there's a big organization now behind iVolunteer that keeps me inspired every single day. Kasi lahat ng taong to may trabaho. But they are able to keep this organization running. So kung kaya nila, bakit hindi ko kaya? It also helps me to find meaning, I would say.
Sa akin, hindi siya option. If hindi natin to gagawin, if hindi tayo mag-engage, hindi tayo maging participative dun sa nation building, walang mangyayari sa bansa. Kung iaasa lang natin, kasi sa presidente, kasi sa gobyerno, kasi siya, ganyan. Wala talagang mangyayari sa atin. We have to engage. It could be either through volunteerism, it could be either through doing well in your community. For me, it's all volunteerism. So, pagiging engaged mo dun sa community, and it's not an option, it's actually a duty. Hindi
As
lang,
a citizen of this
hindi lang
country.
nila nare-realize na kailangan nilang mag-engage. Otherwise, puro lang tayo reklamo, puro lang tayo asa.
See, iVolunteer, we want it to live as long as it can, because I don't think we can engage 100 million Filipinos immediately, right? So hanggat may isang Pilipino na hindi pa na-engage, I think the purpose of iVolunteer will be there.
Pagka tumagal ka na sa pagiging volunteer, di mo na kailangan tawagin. Parang commitment mo na sa sarili mo.
What started as a hobby for Albert Salvatierra eventually became his mission. His interest in climbing mountains led him to discover his greater purpose: give back and help those who are in need.
Ako si Albert Salvatierra, isang volunteer. Isang mahirap lang din na nangarap. Yung magulang namin nagkaanak ng edad 14 at 15. Parang ako tumayong magulang sa mga kapatid ko. And then, nang naglakihan kami, naglakihan sila. Ngayon, mga stable naman sila. Parang may hinahanap ako. Kasi ako na tinutulungan nila. So, maghanap naman ako ng tutulungan. Dati, nagtatrabaho ako, nag-resign ako recently lang. Mas sales and marketing sa isang Malaysian company. Sa kabila nun, meron akong ginagawa. Sumasama ako sa mga outreach program doon sa grupo namin sa Akyat Aral as volunteer. Nag-start kami as mountaineer. Tapos, yung grupo ko, na-discover namin may mga community pala doon na mahihirap o nangangailangan ng tulong, lalong-lalo na yung mga bata. Sa pangangailangan sa eskwelahan, yung mga walang notebook, walang ballpen, walang lapis, walang tsinelas. So, yung grupo namin doon nagsimula, naisip namin na bakit hindi yung pag-akyat natin, gawin nating makabuluhan. Una-una, nagkaroon kami ng turning point, di ba? As mountaineer, naging grupo kami as an outreach program. Group advocacy namin is to reach out yung mga less fortunate children or communities sa bundok talaga. Nag-umpisa yon sa Akyat Aral, December, Give a Gift. Naging memorable sa amin yung event na yon, yung Give a Gift, kasi parang first time namin lahat ginawa. May mga naiiyak. Ako nga lang, tinago ko pa yung pagluha ko. Kasi parang natuwa ako. Binabagyo kami noon, tapos yung mga bata naghihintay. Tapos, yun, parang pakiramdam namin yun ang pinakamasayang Pasko nila. And then, nagtuloy-tuloy na from gift a gift, back to school, kung ano-ano na. Di na mabilang na project. Sa grupo namin, meron kasi tinatawag na toka-toka. Nitong huli, nagpipicture ako. Pero sa grupo kasi, merong assign sa parlor games, may assign sa pagluluto, may assign sa distribution of notebook. Pero dati na-assign ako sa pagluluto. Tapos yung mga volunteer, kung sino ang nag-invite, sila na mag-a-assist. Ako naman itong huli, photographer lang, picture-picture, para may memory din yung mga volunteer, para makita rin nila, lalo sa mga bagong volunteer na worth it yung mga ginagawa nila. Malaki pagkakaiba ng umakyat ka ng bundok, umakyat ka ng summit, nagkatuwaan kayo, nagpicture kayo. Nasatisfy nyo yung sarili ninyo. Pero yung pag-akyat mo ng bundok na ikaw ay nakatulong, iba pakiramdam naman yun. Iba yung masaya ka, iba yung masaya yung iba. At saka nakikita namin mas marami kasi nangangailangan sa bundok na hindi naaabot na biyaya katulad dito sa ibaba. Dito kasi pagka bumagyo, marami na agad yung mga nagbibigay. Sa kanila pagka bumagyo, hindi mo alam kung kasama sila sa bilang na nasalanta kasi hindi nga sila naaabot. Nabuksan yung isipan namin sabay-sabay doon sa grupo namin. Naging dedication, calling na. Yung advocacy mo, hindi mo na dapat sabihin. Kailangan mo na lang gawin. Yung sa akin ngayon, as individual, kasi parang sabi ko nga, magkakaiba rin kasi kami ng daan. Iba-iba nakikita namin hanggang dumating na sa akin itong Mindoro na to. Meron lang akong gustong tulungan na mobile teacher. Tapos nung napunta na ako doon, yun, nakita ko yung hirap ng tao at sa pangangailangan ng community. Nagsimula lang siya kasi parang FB friend kami. Nag-post lang siya na na-approve na yung pagiging ALS teacher niya, yung Alternative Learning System teacher. And then, nag-pledge ako. Hanggang nagpunta ako doon, nag-volunteer, doon ko nakita na mas higit akong kailangan sa Mindoro. Nung mobile teacher na yon dahil talagang iniikot niya lahat ng pangyan sa bundok na yun. Nagbigay kami ng mga notebook, lapis, ballpen, papel. Sa atin lang naman yung makapagsuporta tayo doon sa katulad yung teacher. Matuto silang bumasa, matuto silang sumulat, matuto silang pagkaroon ng isip, hindi yung puro bait. And then pangalawa doon, yung livelihood nila para matuto sila. Yung kung ano may susuporta mo sa livelihood. Kasi sa outreach program, may notebook, may bigas, may pagkain, may kape, may chocolates, may candies, may feeding program. Pagkatapos nun, wala na. Ang nakikita ko sa isip ko, more on livelihood talaga. Mas sustainable. Ang tinatawag doon kung saan ka masaya, makagabay ka o may maitulong ka kahit paano. Pagka nangarap ka kasi para sa kanila parang ang bigat. Siguro yung mas makasuporta ka doon sa mga taong katulad ng teacher para matuto sila. Masuportahan mo si Sir Dominic na sa mga ginagawa niya o yung mga ibang naghihirap doon. Masuportahan mo lang o maging parte ka lang. Siguro sapat na. Abot lang ng akin din makakaya. Tapos suporta ng mga kaibigan, ilang kaibigan. Actually, siguro ginagawa namin pagmamalasakit mo. Kasi kahit dito naman sa baba, may pakikita mo yung malasakit sa kapwa-tao mo. Kaya lang doon sa kanila kasi parang mas kailangan silang bigyan ng special na malasakit.
For JB, Belle, and Albert, volunteerism is more than a responsibility. It is a calling. Simple acts of kindness and hearts overflowing with a desire to help can ultimately make a difference. I'm Claire Saldran. Join us again next week as we tell you more stories that inform and inspire.